I struggle sometimes with lower rated because I think it's hard to motivate myself for the games. I would say like I give them some sort of masterclass when I win these games. Play weaker opponents and then you face some strong GMs. It's a different mindset. Yeah, usually if you're like 26 plus, you're usually among the at least the 5 top players. But now with 26, 40, 50, 60, you're kind of always number one in most open events. So it's always a difficult situation because you have to win so many games, and every time you make a draw or lose, you lose the rating. So there's always an immense pressure that you have to win extremely many games. And these days, compared to just a few years ago, I think it's so much harder to win games because people know so much. There's so much material online. People are studying so much. So it's so much harder to win games. So it's always difficult going into a tournament as number one, but I like to go into a tournament as number one because I know from when I was younger I always had huge respect for the top players, and I was always extremely scared that they were seeing some things that I didn't see. So I know that they are thinking the same thing, that they are extremely nervous when I'm not. So I'm taking advantage of this, and I know that in worst case, if I play poorly, I can sometimes chicken out by offering a draw, perhaps, and they will most likely accept in many cases.
The oldest trick in the book.
The oldest trick in the book, yeah.
The chess players have different qualities, no matter their strength. So it seems like you're very good at beating the players you're supposed to beat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's a crucial strength, obviously. And I think, like me and Odin, we're struggling with that, on a daily basis. But you can also obviously beat stronger players. But tell us a little bit about that, and especially when you're used to be the top seed, and how is it then to play much stronger players again after playing weaker players in an open tournament?
Yeah, I think that's something I have excelled at most of my life, to beat even just a bit lower rated players, but also quite often, like rarely giving out draws. So that's been pretty nice. I think that's been based on my playing style, because I'm very, very playing active chess and aggressive chess, always going for the win. While many other players on my level are a bit more solid, so then it can of course be hard to win. But I always take a lot of risk because I know that I'm the better player, and I have a big confidence going into the game. So when you play weaker opponents and then you face some strong GMs, it's a different mindset, because if you just do the same thing, you realize that they're not really falling for the same tricks, and they know so much more positional play and strategical play and dynamical play. So you have to kind of switch your playing method. But still, I'm always going for the win against them as well. But it's just much harder, and at some point you have to give up your chances to push for a win, because obviously you know that a 2600 player is capable of holding a draw or even taking advantage of your mistakes. While if you play someone, let's say a FIDE master, an IM, or a GM around 2500, I know
CM even.
Sorry?
CM even.
Or even CMs, you know that they will make some kind of error, and you know that you're stronger in most of the aspects of the game.
So do you take less risks against grandmasters? Like you feel it affects your playing style?
Not maybe with black pieces I take less risk compared to lower rated, but if I'm white, I'm going pretty hard into win the games. But it's against 2600 plus players, it's just in general very hard. So, but I still try to find some tricky opening lines, which are maybe not considered the best, because I want to get an unbalanced position where I can kind of play on my strengths.
That's quite practically for you, being a very aggressive and tactical player.
Exactly, yes.
But can you tell us a little bit about what's the difference when you usually win against grandmasters compared to when you win against lower rated players, in terms of how the games are and how you play?
When I beat GMs, I think I play on a much higher level. Usually those are I would say like I give them some sort of masterclass when I win these games. Like every time there's usually quite good games and I'm pretty well prepared. But when I play against, let's say FMs, IMs, I'm not really. I struggle with the focus and the motivation going into the games because I know that I'm supposed to win the games. So I'm not really. That's maybe my biggest weakness in chess because I think even though I win most of those games, it's actually those games that I struggle most with, and usually where I tend to give out some rating points when it comes to a draw or even a loss. Like only recently I was playing against some 2100s in the beginning of a tournament, and I was really struggling, and I was dead lost in some game, and I was able to survive and make a draw. And this happened twice in the same tournament, and then I was paired against this GM, and I just crushed him like a beginner. So it's pretty weird. But actually, I struggle sometimes with lower rated because I think it's hard to motivate myself for the games.
And I think that's quite common in general, like in most levels in chess, and a lot of players do it. Probably Askill, me. In all the levels, you underestimate your opponent sort of by not focusing 100%. But like you're saying, you usually win anyway. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why you can. I mean, the brain is like a funny organ. Like it teaches you like, okay, you actually have time to relax. You have you're going to win this, so it makes you kind of lazy in a way, so you don't focus 100%. And I guess that like that type of focus, even for top players, I probably Magnus is maybe one of the few guys who doesn't underestimate his opponents and can keep this clear focus. I don't know, we have to ask him ourselves, obviously, but I can see him focusing on the chess no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good thing from him compared to other players, because I think most, as you said, they are underestimating their opponents and not taking it as serious as he will do.